The 2022 FIFA World Cup was definitely the best by far, especially the best that I've seen to date. There's been so much to talk about. We're going to unpack why it was so good in this video. So if you're excited, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know your favourite moments from this World Cup. But starting from the group stage, having Qatar make history, the first nation to host the World Cup, to not get a result in that opening game, sort of set the precedence, unfortunately, for Qatar's involvement in this World Cup, not being able to get a point out of it, but it is what it is. I do think, though, that they did manage to host a really good tournament, but unfortunately the football wasn't quite up to standard. We also had Argentina getting beaten by Saudi Arabia in that first game. I don't think there's going to be a moment that's ever going to eclipse that. Imagine being a country of Saudi Arabia's footballing quality. For those outside of the Asian region, you're not going to know how hard Saudi Arabia were to break down in qualifying, and I think they were able to show that on the world stage by being able to really give Argentina a run for their money and able to knock them over 2-1. We've also got here, I felt for the England group, there wasn't heaps to talk about. England kind of got the job done, although Iran, it was nice to see them get a win in their group too. Australia, huge surprise. I was really shocked by the way that we played at this tournament. Really didn't think we were going to score a goal, let alone get out of the group, and fantastic to see. We'll touch on them a bit later. Then straight over to Japan, the Asian powerhouse at the moment, absolutely dominated through their group, got two massive results, and they really probably should have beaten Costa Rica as well. Morocco, we'll touch on them a little bit later, but how good were they to watch? That was absolutely fantastic. Top their group with Croatia as well. And Morocco played some of the best football that I've seen from an underdog nation throughout the whole tournament. Brazil, fit, firing and flying is how I describe them, the three Fs, through the group stage. They just looked like they were every bit of the favourites. And then Cristiano Ronaldo, this World Cup, unfortunately, is going to be forever known as the Ronaldo World Cup. He had the issues going into it. He then has the issue of getting benched and spitting the dummy as well as part of, I think, the first knockout stage. So for me, Ronaldo sort of tarred this, but Messi managed to put that obviously aside throughout the knockout stage. And we progress into the knockout stages, and there's so much more that we could talk about through the group stages as well. Obviously, Germany bundling out in the group stage for the second World Cup in a row. Shocking with them hosting the Euros very, very shortly too. But then moving straight into the knockout stage as well. Australia pushed Argentina all the way through 90 minutes. And imagine if Geraint Qual's shot against Emi Martinez is either slightly higher or slightly lower, we could be talking about a completely different World Cup champion at the moment. So well done to Argentina, obviously, for getting through there. But Craig Goodwin gave us a glimmer of hope to be able to come away from that as well. Then we've also seen Morocco just get the job done against Spain in the first round as well, which was fantastic to see, and continue that run moving through. The rest of the round of 16 was pretty self-explanatory. Then we've got, obviously, Holland pushing Argentina again. Argentina haven't found it easy throughout this whole tournament, but Holland pushed them all the way from 2-0 down, get it back to 2-2, get it to penalties, and knock out, or get knocked out on penalties to Argentina, which was disappointing because I thought Holland were actually good value in that quarterfinal. Croatia do the exact same thing to Brazil. They managed to score and find a late equaliser and then knock the favourites out on penalties, and then England collapsed to France, which could have probably seen that one coming. I don't think England are quite ready. They could be, though, for the next World Cup. And Morocco, as we've said, got through Portugal. And then the semi-finals is where, for me, this tournament has really heated up. There was so much. The two very good games. Argentina showed their class, and I felt they were on top there against Croatia. And the combinations of Messi and Alvarez and then Enzo Fernandez through the midfield was absolutely fantastic. And then France obviously go through against Morocco quite comfortably. In the final, we've spoken about the final at length already on the channel. So if you haven't sussed it, there's a little card there to go and see my thoughts on the final. But Leo Messi gets his hands on that trophy. But for me, this tournament had everything. It had drama, it had goals, it had engagement. The timings were good, the games were well run. I felt that most of the games were well refed. There was so much positivity through this World Cup, with a tournament filled with such negativity going into it, with regards to some of the human rights issues that are happening in the Middle East, but also the conditions for workers and then the timing of the tournament. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. This has had everything, and I think that final was just the accumulation of just such a great tournament and such a great spectacle to watch. So if you've enjoyed this one, make sure you smash the thumbs up button, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you very, very soon for some more football videos.